So this is the tank with the white sand. Yeah, I'm getting the white backdrop is on its way. It was like $7 on Amazon. It's just the static cling opal. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. When there was a lot of leftover debris. Well, actually, it was in the filter, and then somehow I messed with the filter, and it got sent into the water column. And then I turned the filter off, and then it settled. So there was quite a bit of debris had settled on the sand, which I didn't really think about as going to be a problem. Mostly because I guess I have the pebbles in my other tanks, and they hide a lot of the debris, I guess, and for some reason they're like self-cleaning. They either, if they get too gummed up with junk and algae and all that, you sort of just, not that you do that a lot, but if you had to, you could just stir the pebbles and you basically put a fresh, you put a fresh stone, you flip them around a bunch, and then next thing you know, you got a bunch of fresh stones. So I'm guessing that's probably what I'll have to do with the sand, is I'll just have to either keep the filter going with a nice flow, which that's an aqua 70, which is going to be too much. I'm just going to use the aqua 30 for this tank with a sponge filter, and I'll move it to the center of the lava so you don't really see it. And then what I was thinking about doing is getting some Anubias. Which I'm assuming that they like low light, like they don't do good with high light, is what I'm assuming about the Anubias. But it's basically something that's like maybe a self-contained, that I could just glue to some small lava rocks, like very small lava rocks, and maybe just have one over here and maybe 3, which sort of goes against the monotone tank, the monolithic tank. But I'm gonna put fish in there. I didn't want it to be completely sterile, and then something that would match, kind of stick with the theme of the monolithic tank, but still have something enough to keep the fish interested. See that? You can see right through. Kind of a weird stone, huh? Like when you get it at the right angle, it's I guess a little creepy, but it's got some really interesting features. So I don't know, I could spin that stone around so it gives its best face. But yeah, so I think the trick with the sand is keep the water moving, and then if enough debris settles, you basically just stir it. I don't know how thick the sand is going to get with detritus, because there's no flow. As you can see, I took there's no under gravel underneath this, which at first freaked me out. Like when I did it, I was like, there's going to be no flow. It's just stagnant. And I don't think I don't know how many tanks I have where I didn't do an under gravel. Or like with just pure sand. It's not pure sand. There's about 40 pounds of in that tank. I got a whole bag of that basically, and most of the bag of that, I would say more than maybe 2/3, if not more, of the white stone, which I think is kind of cool. I was gonna do a little bit, maybe a little bit of the stone, just to kind of create some interest, but I don't know. Maybe maybe toward the back, do a little bit of the thing, make it look a little more natural. This tank is more like a saltwater sort of setup. Like where they do the living rock is kind of like a lava rock, I guess. Volcanic rock is more something that you would see by the coast or by saltwater, you know, not necessarily a freshwater stone. And this sand is definitely a freshwater type sand. But yeah. And then the other thing is I got, you know, a smaller light. I might even get a smaller light. And then this is basically like the night light. So that, you know, the few hours before bed, it's kind of like a feature. And I put old water from the other tank. I was trying to just, that's why it's a little brown. It's from another tank that's going that has a lot of wood and the guppies are living in now. So I was just sort of inoculating this tank. So I don't think, you know, after a few water changes, I don't think it's going to be it's going to have that brown hue without wood, you know. And then I might figure out a way to get a polish, to get some polish material in the filter and keep it really, really, like see if I can get it super crystal clear. And then probably just keep this on a lower flow so it's not like really kicking up as many bubbles, or, you know, cycle it through the filter a few times. But yeah, so that's that. When will fish go in? That is a good question. I think fish will go in here, you know, the closer I get to this tank. Which now you can see I got the under gravel. Those are they fit perfectly at 29 aquarium, so you miss that end. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a big sand patch, because I got kind of excited about like a big empty space of sand, which I think I'll do here, and then more gravel kind of going this way. Yeah, so that'll be fun to get going on this. Want to get some more time, but cool. Thanks for watching.